right. Hey guys, how's everyone doing? I think I got everyone added.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Gustav, welcome back. Hope you had a good holiday.
Yeah, full of sun. Was nice.
Excellent. Something we've definitely been deprived of here in cloudy London. Okay, I think we can start. So today we're mostly going to be talking about, I think, V27. So we're moving towards RC on that and getting all the stuff finalized for release. Um, and maybe we'll talk about other things, but probably V27 mostly. So yeah, so as far as myself, I was doing a couple reviews. I put in one last minute change, which is a request for the node to log its process ID out. And I made the V27 release branch. So that's there. I think we want to make an RC out of that as soon as we can. And yeah, so the only other thing I think we have is a problem we've been chasing for a couple weeks, which is RocksDB and bootstrapping. But I think, Bob, you were saying that you had taken a look at this and had some ideas on what that was doing. If you want to share, that'd be great.
I focused on this bootstrapping issue. And just before the call, I had a quick talk with Ricky. And I asked when he disabled all the legacy bootstrap in V26, I believe he tested, so which was always thinking well. But with legacy bootstrap disabled, it didn't sync to 100%. So the difference is that we currently don't have this frontier scan yet in the sending bootstrapper. And what I tried to understand this algorithm, and I think I got pretty far. So what we are doing, correct me if I'm wrong, we ask for blocks for individual accounts. And if we process this block, we continue asking for more blocks for that account. And if we hit a send block, we also ask for blocks for the destination account. So we activate it, we put it into a priority. And then, so that's the main line. And then we sometimes hit this gap source, which basically means that the source block is not yet in our ledger. So for example, if we want to insert a receive block, but the corresponding sending account is not yet fully synced, we can't insert this receive block, and we hit this gap source, and then we block our account with the corresponding block hash that would unblock the account. And now the difficulty, or what I've seen, is that we have this block hash, but we never ask for this block in particular, because we are only asking for accounts, and just from this block hash we don't know the account. So what I've been doing is I've created this additional try unblock. So all our blocking set, we have all these hashes that would potentially unblock an account, but we never ask for it. So the only way our current algorithm can get it is by iterating one by one over each account in our ledger. So we move to the next account in our ledger and we ask for all the blocks, and only by chance we then might hit the right account. So what I did is all the facilities have been there. I just asked for this particular block, so that we get the account and we can add it into the priority set, which potentially unblocks it much faster. So this is much faster than just iterating over full ledger, which has like 35 million accounts in the main network. And
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's very interesting. I guess so this has been an issue. I mean, it's just a perpetual issue because we don't have the source account information written into the ledger when we receive. I remember this was a problem with the legacy bootstrap that that was trying to be made way back in the day. So you were able to request for the specific block just itself, and then
yeah, exactly. So it's there already. So the server part is there. It's just we just don't do it yet on the client side. So we don't request individual blocks. So by hash, but everything is there to do it. So I just request this full block by its hash, and then I get the account, and this account I always put into the priority set to potentially get the blocks that we need.
very good. Okay, so you have a
The
prototype of
benefit
that.
is that for every live block that we get, we very quickly unblock the chain. So all the live traffic gets synced quickly.
Perfect.
What you described is exactly the dependency walking algorithm that we were testing back in the day. So that was pretty obvious. However, during testing, I remember this performed worse for some reason, and I wonder whether maybe you're doing something wrong or our testing is flawed or something else, because it's kind of strange that it works now and it didn't work back then.
Yeah, it might be an implementation thing. So I just we have this blocking set that is created by the ascending bootstrapper, and I just take all these hashes and I iterate over them. So it might be slightly different from what was done previously when you do it directly. But I had to change quite a bit. So it's a lot of changes, and it performs also from syncing from scratch. It seems to perform very well. But yeah, I currently have a SAC fault in my implementation, so there is still some work to be done.
Yeah, like it's good to hear that. However, if we had this implemented back then and for some reason we didn't include it, it's a bit of a shame that we are a bit wasteful with our efforts, because
Yeah, but from what I see is we iterate over the ledger, and we could once we have this frontier scan implemented, we could get completely rid of this very inefficient approach of iterating over the ledger.
Okay, so let me describe the dependency walking algorithm that I implemented back in the day. It was pretty simple to add it. So what I did is, in addition to randomly sampling those priority accounts, I was randomly sampling just the blocked hashes and requesting account info for that, and that's why I added this message. However, I remember that we specifically didn't include that because some reasons.
Yeah, I had to remove this random sampling, so I just go to the next deterministically. So I don't do a random sampling in my algorithm. And just going to the next account, to the next priority, instead of sampling them, this alone improves the performance. But there might be drawbacks. So I
Okay,
didn't do a full run.
So the difference is that we are not sampling randomly, but just iterating, right?
Yes, correct.
That is pretty interesting.
It could have been a couple of factors. Like we made a bunch of changes since then, and maybe it only shows up now. I mean, I guess the ultimate data is, does it sync faster? And it sounds like, so do you know roughly the difference in syncing speed?
Yeah,
I mean, I guess right
the
now it
beginning,
currently
the
doesn't
beginning
sync.
was much faster, so like almost twice as fast. But I didn't do a full sync because the node crashed intermittently because of this issue, and I'm just trying to fix this implementation to do a full run. But yeah, there might be other issues. But
If you can push a branch, we can figure out why it's sync faulting. I guess I'm gonna guess that that's solvable.
yeah, I'm doing some hacky stuff, so I want to move quickly by not modifying too much. But this was a bit hacky, so yeah. I know why it's segfaulting, faulting, or I have a suspicion, so I'm looking into it just now. But yeah, so it seems, well, Ricky is testing it. I don't know how far he got, but I got on three occasions, I got a RocksDB ledger synced that was a few hundred or a few thousand blocks behind, which never synced in our current algorithm.
Very interesting. And when you're testing that, is this also with the legacy bootstrap off, or?
Yes, that's with the legacy bootstrap off. So only the sending bootstrap.
Interesting. Like conceptually, this like dependency walker slash dependency tracing way seems better than the frontier scan way. Even though I guess the frontier scan way is probably more bulletproof.
Yeah, frontier scan is probably still needed to sync to 100%. So if there are blocks that have no live traffic at all, it might be difficult to find them. But not sure, maybe not.
I mean, that is very interesting, because we really pivoted to the frontier scan because we assumed that the dependency tracing walking wasn't working well. So that changes a few things. Maybe we don't need to implement this frontier scan at all.
I'll share the branch so you can look at after the call. I can share it right away after the call, so you can look at it.
Very cool. Okay, that's good news. Okay, Piotr, do you want to go over what you've been up to?
So I wasn't actively working on the code for the last week, so not much from me.
Okay, very good. Gustav, how's everything in Westland? I guess you and
looking good. I merged all of the stuff you did while I was on vacation last week, and I'm up to par again. And then I focused on, so I want to run the tests, especially Bob's test suite and stuff, to make sure that the Rust node actually performs well. And I found a bug, not the reason for the bug, but I know that there's a small bug in the rep crawler in the Rust code. And I'm currently trying to find the issue. And I'm currently, I started refactoring the rep crawler and online reps code to make it easier to write unit tests for them. And that's what I did today and on Monday. So yeah, I'm just currently writing unit tests, very focused and detailed unit tests for all of the code that involves rep crawling to find the issue.
Okay. Very good. And was it Rui that was also going to work on the Rust node? Is there anything on that, or not really?
I think he is. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think Rui can. He did awesome stuff. So, but I think he can tell you. But
Do you have microphone access?
Hey
There
there.
he is. Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Good. Thanks for having me. Yeah. So I've been working on the CLI implementation in Rust. So the porting to Rust, and essentially I made some design modifications to simplify the CLI because I thought some parts were a little bit confusing. And so I took advantage of Clap Crate, which is like a Rust crate that almost everyone uses in the ecosystem to do CLI, and it's very easy to work on. So I basically just created 4 major categories of commands, which are the utils commands that are essentially related to keys and accounts, convert one key to account and vice versa. Then the ledger commands, so commands that are able to read from the ledger and to write to the ledger. So this includes information about peers, blocks, confirmation height, clear online weight, etc. So I also put in this category some debug commands that I thought it makes more sense to be here. And then just node-related commands, including the running the node itself, the daemon, and initializing, generating config, updating config. And finally, just wallet-related commands, so creating wallets, creating accounts, removing, etc., etc. So yeah, I think also we have decided, me and Gustav, to not port some debug commands because it doesn't really make sense to have debugging commands in a CLI that is supposed to be used by node operators. So profiling and benchmarking, maybe it's not really necessary to have in a CLI because they are supposed to be used by a developer of the node and not the node operator itself. So we thought it would be easier to simplify and not port those debug commands. So yeah, the goal is to make the user experience better to the node operator, so that it is more intuitive to use. And yeah, almost all commands are ported, just left pruning and some others. But this week it should be merged, and so if anyone wants to try it and give some feedback and suggestions, you are welcome. And yeah, then I will be focusing on the RPC server, which is the other major component that is left to port. So with the CLI and the RPC server, then we can do the integration tests and with the Rust node and start testing, and Bob can do his magic. So yeah, I think it would be useful. The goal is, of course, to eventually start integrating the Rust node in the tests in the network as well. So yeah, basically that's it.
Very good. Yeah, that sounds like a nice reorganization of the command lines. I know we haven't really, like, we just keep adding to them, but we haven't nobody's gone through and restructured them. So yeah, I think one thing would be good for if we can see kind of all the commands that are out there that you've done, because I think regardless, I think infrastructure is probably better if this C++ node can mimic that. I think it would be better just because then there's a uniform interface. I don't like when you were talking about the developer commands. Yeah, I don't think many people really run those. I mean, I rarely run them either. So yeah, I think just probably trying to make an effort to make them unified would help everyone out. So very good. I like that. Just at a high level, do the commands look mostly the same? Are they like double dash commands, or how does that create parse the command line?
Yeah, so in clap, the command, you don't need to use the double dash. So the double dash is for flags. So you have commands, then subcommands, and then the flags of the subcommands. So for example, the node flags are just the flags of the subcommand run daemon. So you don't in the documentation sometimes it's a little bit confusing because there are some flags that are mixed with, for example, network and data path. Because in my implementation, almost all commands have the flag network and data path, not only just the node, because it's related to some network. So if you want the peers, it can be the peers from the beta network, it can be the peers from the live network. So you either pass the network and there is a default path for that given network, or you pass the data path and it reports the information from that data path. So yeah, but it's mostly the same. It's only the commands don't have the double dash and only the flags.
Okay, cool. Well, we can take a look at it. I'm sure it all can be emulated. Nice. Very good. Glad you have another helper on it, Gustav. I'm sure that'll be very helpful for the rest.
That's exciting. Super happy with what Rui did there.
Very cool. Okay. So I think we have, the V27 stuff that we're narrowing in on. So we do have the branch. I think the only thing at this point that we'd actually put into that branch are going to be bug fixes or these fixes for the bootstrapping. And after that, I think we're going to be on our way to RC and then release. So I know it's been a little protracted getting these last things out. It's kind of how it always goes. The last 20% takes a lot of time also, but we're almost there. And I think we're going to have a really good release with this. Does anyone else have anything that we want to go over? Those might be a little shorter today, but that's fine. See if anyone's asked anything. I don't think so. Okay. Well, I think that's it for today. So yeah, thanks everyone. I'm glad to have some new faces. Not really new faces, really, but it's good to have you on the Rust code. And yeah, Gustav, good to have you back. Cool. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone. And see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.